So Hamish, we're now live. Give us a wave.
Hello.
Excellent. So, right, that is working. Cool. That is.
How's it going, everyone?
Okay, cool. So.
Yep.
Kiwi time later today.
Right, I'm gonna make a new channel in Discord so we can have a special Q&A channel.
All right, I'm not going to be listening to Discord at all through this, so if there's anything that comes through, let me know.
Will do. So, let's first of all just introduce ourselves.
Yeah, mate, sounds good. Do you want to go first?
Yeah, for sure. So, my name's Joe. You might know me as Unicode Unicorn on ScoutWired. I am currently on the tech team and also the executive, which is kind of like our council.
Cool. My name's Hamish. You guys might know me, might not. On Discord, I go under Hamish the Boss, and if I'm on Minecraft, you'll see me as Bear Grylls Jr. Currently sitting in the position of coordinator or CEO of ScoutWired, and I basically look after a bunch of different things to do with the overall running of our services.
Yeah, exactly. So we know that there's a couple of people that have dropped us questions already, as well as anyone that might have some questions coming in. So if there are any questions coming in, we will answer those as they come in. So I'm now in the Q&A channel on Discord, so if you have any questions, please ask them. Obviously, let's not be talking unless you got any questions. Otherwise, you're going to come up on our stream. So while we're here,
ask questions on here.
If you want to give us a quick shout out in the Discord, you can say hello now.
Hello.
Hi.
Excellent. So let's first of all go through some of the questions that we've already had sent in, Hamish.
Yeah, where can we fire questions
Sure.
to?
So we had a couple of questions sent in by a few people. The first one we had was, what inspired you to apply for ScoutWired? Well, in relation to answering that question, we in fact didn't really get an option to apply for ScoutWired itself because we in fact founded ScoutWired. So yeah, that's how that started.
Yes.
Do you want to do the next one, Joe?
Yeah, of course. So the next question that we've had sent in is, how old are you? So we are both 22. We started ScoutWired when we were 17, as you found out in the quiz a minute ago. And yeah, we've been involved in ScoutWired ever since, and since the very, very beginning.
The next question we got sent in was, how did you find ScoutWired? Well, actually, we didn't find ScoutWired. Again, we invented ScoutWired for other people to find, which is pretty cool. And as a result of that, our numbers are growing rapidly every day.
Indeed, indeed. So the next question is, how long has ScoutWired been up for, Discord and the Minecraft server? So the answer to that one is ScoutWired is celebrating its 5th birthday this year, along with our Minecraft and our Discord. Our Discord started a little bit after that, but yeah, and it's very, very soon going to be launching Minecraft Bedrock, which I have been working on, and the rest of the team has been working on for a little while now.
Awesome. We had another funny question sent in to us. Does Wabino actually get enough sleep? Well, we don't know the exact answer to that one, but sometimes we do wonder.
Indeed, indeed. You've gone very, very fuzzy, by the way.
Yeah, that's fixed
fair.
that. Cool. Do you want to do the next one?
Yeah, for sure. So the next question is, what's the story? What is the story behind ScoutWired? I'll answer that one if that's all right, Hamish.
Yeah, mate, go for it.
Cool. So basically, ScoutWired originally started because Hamish and I were online. We were trying to find somewhere where we could scout online, where we would be sort of like happy with the service and the safety that was provided for users. And we couldn't find anywhere that fitted all our requirements. So we decided, hey, we can't find anywhere. Sure, we're not the only people looking for somewhere like this. So we started our own. And ScoutWired has been running ever since. We grew the team. First couple of team members joined maybe a week after we started. And then, after that, it's sort of grown exponentially from there.
Do we have any messages coming in that I'm not seeing at all, Joe?
Yeah, so that last message was from Tony, who's a team member. We have another message which is, when will Minecraft server be for iOS? So the answer to that one is it's going to be launched this weekend. In fact, hoping to do a live launching ceremony thing later on today, maybe tomorrow, depending on the time zone. I'm from the UK, and Hamish is from New Zealand. So it's currently midday here. What time is it with you, Hamish?
Currently just on midnight.
So there we go. It'll be later today for me, and it'll probably be in the morning for Hamish. So the server code, is that do you mean the joining address? So the joining address is minecraft.scoutwired.org for Java, and Bedrock isn't live yet, so we're not going to give out that information quite yet.
I see another question's come in here about how did we meet? I can't exactly remember the exact details how we met, but I just remember that when we did meet, we did become quite good friends right from the start, and as a result of that has carried through the last, I think it is 6 or 7 years now to get us to where we are at today. Do you have any memories on that one, Joe?
Sorry, I was reading comments. What was the question?
How we first met. I can't remember exact details.
Yeah, so I think what happened is that we posted in a Facebook group looking for a Minecraft server for scouting. I think that's what happened. It's like a long time ago now, so it's a little bit hazy. And I think we both had kind of like the same kind of idea of what we wanted out of it, and got talking through that. To that question was from El Quacko Duck Emoji. By the way, I'm gonna now read out the names of people that are asking questions. So let's move on to our next presenting question.
Yeah, sure. So we've got a question here from Dylan. What has been the most unexpected thing that has happened to you in your time with ScoutWired? I actually put a part in and answered that question. For me personally, it's actually becoming a non-for-profit organisation. I think that's a massive milestone for any organisation, not only ourselves, but for everyone to be able to get to that stage where you're officially recognised for what you're doing, basically. Do you have one, Joe?
Yeah, no, I'd say that's about right. Like getting registered as a not-for-profit. The most unexpected thing is literally how big it's grown now. When I everyone, then the bot informed me that I was going to everyone 800 people, which is a crazy number. And it's really, really awesome that we've got that many people who are now involved in ScoutWired.
For sure. It's definitely growing.
So another question from Dylan is, when will you two finally meet in person? Which is an interesting one, actually, because Hamish and I were talking on our Discord a couple of days ago, and my mum said, oh hey, when COVID-19 is all sort of like blown over, do you want to go? Do you want to go to New Zealand to meet Hamish and the rest of the team? And I was like, well, yeah, I do. So she said like she thinks that I should do that, but the only thing that the only requirement she put on that is that she gets to come with me.
I think that's a fair deal if you ask me.
I think so. So we've got another couple of questions from the Discord. So this is from Jawari. So will ScoutWired get TikTok? That is a difficult one because TikTok doesn't necessarily have the moderation features that we look for. But we will put it to the council and we will see what they say. We can't answer that one right now. But I'm going to go ahead and say that we'll ask the council and see whether it's got enough safety features that we're happy with.
Yeah, for sure. I think anything has to go through a particular process and meet a particular criteria before it is officially added as one of our supported activities.
Yeah, indeed.
I've got a...
Go on.
I was just reading this one. From Robbo, do you reckon this server got popular?
Why do you reckon? I think it's.
I reckon everyone has like different things they like to do and different places that suit different people. For example, not every Scout group is for everybody. So like when it comes to online services like this, we offer a different set of options and opportunities for people that other people don't. So if they want to come and join in with ours, then they can.
Yeah, absolutely. So then there's another question here from El Quaco. How long have each of you been in scouting? So Hamish, you go first.
I've been in scouting, I think the last time I counted was since I was 7 or 8. I can't remember now, but I know that I'm coming up either 13 or 14 years this year, which is a pretty long time.
And I joined scouting when I was 5, so I've been in scouting for 17 years, which is a long time. So we got another question here from Robbo, which is, what inspired you to join Scouts? So Hamish, do you want to answer that one?
What inspired me to join Scouts? I don't necessarily know if what inspired me to join Scouts is the correct way to phrase it, but I remember that I basically got taken along to Scouts one day, like everybody does, to see if I would like it. And then obviously I did like it. And as a result of that, I've obviously moved through the ranks. Started off as a cub leader, now I'm a scout leader, and now I'm a venture leader. And yeah, it's just good fun. There's endless opportunities that you don't get outside of Scouts. And yeah. What about you?
Yeah, well, I started as a beaver. So sort of like, why did I start Scouts? I started Scouts because my mum told me to be quite honest. At that age, you kind of don't really have much choice. But I continued scouting because of the people that you meet. Most of my best friends in the world, I've met through scouting. I've been to 2 jamborees now, and the friends that you make through scouting are friends that you will never ever forget. As all of you guys know, a lot of my online friends are through scouting. But even just the friends that I know in real life, 99% of them I know from scouting, or at least they are involved in scouting. Scouting attracts a certain type of person who I get on really, really well with.
Yeah, for sure. I can't say that enough. That, like, for example, some of our best friends in scouting are those ones that we've met potentially online or activities we've done. Like, I know for me and Joe that we'll be good friends for years and years and years to come. Eh, Joe?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. We've been friends for 5 years already, and I hope that continues for a lot longer. So another question here from El Quaco. What's your best Jamboree story? So my best Jamboree story from 2015, which is Japan, is riding on the bullet train after 2 weeks on camp. And obviously on Jamboree, the showers are not particularly great. So there were Japanese people walking through the train like this because we all smelled so bad. And then my favourite story from the 2019 Jamboree in America is I was a member of the Rover Brigade who were welcoming people onto site. And there's a couple of really good memories from this. This was my favourite part of the Jamboree. I was the first face that people saw when they arrived on Jamboree, or one of them. So probably my favourite one was when a Welsh unit, I am Welsh, when a Welsh unit came on and I was able to address them in Welsh and say welcome to the Jamboree, and that was amazing. And then there was a Norwegian unit that had been sat on their bus for I think 9 hours by the time I got on the bus, and they were all really glum. And by the time I dropped them off at their camp, I'd been on the bus with them for about another 3 hours, and we'd started laughing and joking. They were laughing at my British accent. I was singing songs in Welsh for them. They were singing songs in Norwegian. It was really great, and hopefully that started off their Jamboree on a really good foot.
My favorite Jamboree story. So the last two Jamborees in New Zealand I've attended on the media team, which is pretty cool. And I always like to go on the media team because you get, again, lots of different opportunities that you wouldn't always get. And one of the main things about the media team and doing what I do on the media team is I get to look after running the interviews for all the cool, executives and special people that come on site. So that's always pretty cool. And you meet some pretty cool people through doing that sort of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to go back onto some of our pre-scripted ones for now. Not pre-scripted, pre-asked. I do apologise. And then we're going to jump back and take some more comments or more questions from the Discord. So here's a question from Mel, which is, what has been your biggest challenge in ScoutWired? Was it solved or is it an ongoing issue? Do you want to take that one, Hamish, or do you want me to do that one?
I can take it if you want.
Yeah, go on.
One of our biggest challenges is, as per any starting up group or organization or anything like that, is definitely right from the start. It's about getting your name out there and getting trusted by people and getting the people to join, see what you're about. So one of our biggest challenges is still to date getting our name out there, getting it circulating, and getting people to realize that we're actually here, because even though it's coming up 5 years this year, we're still having people say they haven't heard about us before, and that once they get on, they love what they see.
Absolutely. So another question from Mel, which is, what is one thing you could change about ScoutWired and how you've done it differently with your knowledge today compared to when it started? So this is a really interesting question. To be honest, other than the biggest challenge, which is getting known to more people, I wouldn't change anything about ScoutWired. We have a really amazing team. We have really amazing people joining our services, and I honestly wouldn't change anything. The only one thing I would change is that more people get involved and understand how awesome scouting online can be, especially in such an environment such as this, which is really informal. One of the founding principles of ScoutWired is that the easiest way to connect and the most natural way to connect is by playing together. and that's why we use online gaming as our platform. Anything to add to that, Hamish?
I definitely want to reiterate the fact that you're saying about the team that we have behind us. We definitely do have an amazing team behind us and some amazing mentors that have got great skills that they can feed back into us. And not only are they passing those skills on, they're teaching us at the same time, which means we can then go and take those skills and use them in other areas outside ScoutWired as well.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. So let's go into some more Discord questions. So another question. A question from Robbo. What is your favorite band, Hamish?
Oh, what is my favorite band? I don't have a particularly favorite band. But some of the old ones like Queen that jumps to mind. They're always good. Yeah, I just listen to what's going really.
Yeah, I think I'm the same, to be honest. I don't really have a favorite band. I think I'd say Queen's up there. I like to listen to musicals, sort of like classical music, stuff like that. When I was younger, I used to like Busted. That shows my age a little bit. They're not together anymore, but hey. So yeah, that's another question from Robbo. Robbo has another question, which is, who's your favorite singer? Same question. Same answer. I listen to sort of like whatever's on. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely the same, mate. Like, I just listen to what's going. Like, if I want to listen to music, I just flick the radio on and listen to whatever they put on. just looking through these questions that are coming through Discord. We've got another one here from Mel. Where would you like to travel to with Scouts/ScoutWired that you haven't had a chance to yet? And in terms of travel, and to answer that question, I would love to travel to have like a massive ScoutWired meetup. That would be like amazing. It's been talked about in the past, and it's definitely always on the cards. But it would be great to just have like a massive camp where we can all just meet each other, and have a camp.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I've kind of already answered this question. One place I'd really like to travel with ScoutWired is New Zealand to visit Hamish. I'd also like to, while I do that, I'd like to visit Australia because there's a huge amount of people involved in ScoutWired in Australia. So maybe we'll have to try and arrange a ScoutWired meetup in Australia around the time that I'm there. That might be pretty cool. I know Australia's pretty big, so getting from like one side to the other is difficult for people. But I'd definitely like to visit New Zealand and Australia to visit some of you guys. Where would you like to? Where would you like to see ScoutWired in 5 years' time? I answered this one a little while ago on the Facebook profile on me. I'd like to see ScoutWired at the next World Scout Jamboree with its own sort of like tent, where we can sort of like give people the message of what online scouting can be, how to get involved, and have people interact like that. How about you, Hamish?
Yeah, in terms of me for where I'd like to see it in 5 years, I think in 5 years it would be really amazing seeing it grow further and become more of a not only at Jotty time but used outside Jotty, so that we have people using it regularly right throughout the year, because we're not always around just at Jotty and just on weekends like this. We actually run 365 days of the year.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. We're always here. We're always available to talk. We're always available to talk. We're always available to game. Our services are up, as Hamish has said, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. So what makes ScoutWired a safe place for scouts and guides all over the world? And this is a really, really complicated answer. Basically, our training for our team members is unbelievable. Our training, learning, and development team go to huge lengths to make sure that our team are properly trained, properly vetted, all of that kind of stuff. We have our policies that are in place are centered on keeping young people safe above anything else. Our policies that are sometimes annoying for people, but are really, really important in terms of keeping you guys safe. So some of those policies are that we're never allowed one-on-one chats. So there always has to be at least two members of team in each chat. We make sure that there's no way that you can send private messages using our services, and all of those messages, any message that is sent using any of our services, is recorded and accessible if we need to. Something I should say about that is that we can't just look through those randomly. We have to have council approval to make that happen. So there's no invasion of privacy there. It's just all about making sure that there's nowhere to hide on our services, and it keeps you guys safe. Anything to add, Hamish?
No, I think you covered that one pretty well. But yeah, as you say, we're all about keeping youth safe. That is our number one priority, and that is what ScoutWired bases itself around, providing a safe online community platform for scouts and guides around the world.
Absolutely. So what is the best event that happened on Discord and MC server? Probably Rubino falling asleep in the channel. That's quite funny. But I'd say that the best event that's happened is this one, because we get to talk to you guys and we get to answer your questions that you might have, which is really, really good. You've gone fuzzy again, Hamish.
I'll fix it.
You know, getting to answer your questions and any questions that you have about ScoutWired is really, really good. Why have you not got your ScoutWired shirts on? Hamish.
Why have we not got our ScoutWired shirts on? Well, me and Joe had a little phone call before we actually got on this live stream to just have a bit of a debrief and how we were going to handle it. And we thought that since this was all about scouting and this was going to be an interview with us, we should probably put our scout uniforms on and be official.
Absolutely. And the other one to that is I don't actually have a ScoutWired shirt. They're made in New Zealand, and in the past the postage has been pretty expensive. But we're going to get that sorted out. I think Hamish is going to sort me out a shirt. We're going to be posting some stuff backwards and forth anyway, so we'll include that in the shipping. We do have our ScoutWired uniform, our scouting uniform on, representing our various countries and our local scouting, so that's fine. So that was a question from El Quaco, which I've been informed that is a temporary name, and his normal name is actually Dairy Farmer 101.
We've got another question here that's come through from Mel. Tell us what makes ScoutWired unique from other servers and why more people should join. That one's again a really interesting question. What makes us unique is definitely our level of training that our team goes through to be on our team is definitely very comprehensive, and they learn a lot when they're doing the training as much as we do when we train them. But in terms of what makes us unique as well, we're primarily based in the the Oceania region, which means we're quite often on and around and engaging with our users and getting involved with what they're doing. Do you have anything for that one, Joe?
No, you've pretty much covered it all.
It's an interesting question to answer, isn't it?
Yeah. How can you help people with their Messengers of Peace badge? So we have a Messengers of Peace program. That's run by our training, learning, and development team. I believe. I know that Wayfarer is like very, very highly involved in that, and he's a member of our team. So if you have any questions about Messengers of Peace, you can fire them at Wayfarer, I think is probably the best question on that one. Okay. What opportunities are open to ScoutWide members? The world is your oyster. We have so many opportunities. We've got loads and loads of training that you can do. A lot of the training is open to non-ScoutWide team members. But if you join the team, there's I can't even remember. Risen is doing Risen and the rest of the training, learning, and development team is doing such a great job at keeping everyone's training up to date, keeping people safe, and just providing a really good ongoing learning experience. We've just released our ally program, so that's to support LGBT plus members and other members of Scouting that might need help, or even just someone that wants someone to listen to, someone to vent to. We're starting an ally service where you can ask for help from a member of the ally team, and we provide the training for that. We make sure that the person's appropriate to talk to, and it's all provided in the strictest confidence. Anything to add, Hamish?
I think you covered that one pretty well. We've got another question here from Little Fred. What are you planning for scouting at home? So, given that ScoutWide isn't actually a scout group itself, we have supported those who are doing scouting at home by releasing a online webinar presentation on how to run an online scout meeting for those leaders who are sort of unfamiliar with it. And in terms of scouting at home, not sure how long this is going to go on for, so we just need to support the scouting at home and help those who need help to get it working, really.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. So in terms of planning for scouting at home for ScoutWide, ScoutWide is always run at home, so we're not going to be changing what we're doing on ScoutWide. We're just going to be providing more tools to people to use. So actually, Hamish is calling me through Google Meet. This is a safer alternative to Zoom. It just means that we can verify who's joining. We're offering this free to any groups that need it, that need help with that infrastructure over this challenging period for scouting. If you want to register for that, go to groups.scoutwide.org, and then one of our members of team will contact you and sort out that. You get to approve everyone that joins. As Hamish said, we've produced a presentation, a seminar, a webinar on how to run an online scouting session for leaders. In terms of myself, I'm a Explorer Scout leader or a Venture Scout leader. So yesterday I ran a meeting with some of my explorers using Google Meet. We played a game called Jackbox. It's really good. You can do some online games with loads of people. And I've been setting challenges for them, like find a load of things around your kitchen and stuff like that. So that was a question from Little Fred. It's a really good question. Well done, mate. A question from Mel. ScoutWide claims to be youth-led. How does ScoutWide actually achieve this? Hamish, do you wanna go ahead and answer that one quickly?
Sure. So ScoutWide achieves being youth-led by obviously we have rules and policies in place that basically mean that the person who is the chairperson or coordinator for ScoutWide, which I am currently, has to be a youth member in scouting as far as a rover as such. So that means the person who is running ScoutWide itself cannot be over the age of 26 years old, I think. And this basically means that through the way ScoutWide is run, it's getting input and feedback from people who are youth members, but also lots of our team leaders and coordinators for certain teams are actually youth members as well, and this is our way of incorporating them into learning how to start to manage people, look after teams, and get involved with our monthly meetings we're having, and see how an organization like ours actually works and runs. And then they can take that sort of stuff they're learning back to their scout group and run their sections and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. As Hamish said, young people in scouting goes up to the age of 25, and a huge amount of our team members are under the age of 25. We try to enable young people to be as involved as possible. We have very low minimum ages on some of our roles, and we try to encourage people to get involved as much as possible. We sometimes put out questionnaires to find people's opinions on various things that we're running, and we will always listen to feedback that's given to us. You might not necessarily see us respond to that. We might not make the change that you've asked for, but we will always listen to it and discuss it. So are you going to make a badge trading area? A badge trading area is really difficult because that involves giving out personal information. So that's not something that we're going to be looking at this time. If we could think of a way of doing it without revealing users' information, then we could look into that in the future. But it's not something we have in the plan at this time. So Little Fred has asked, when will there be more karaoke? We can do more karaoke if you want to do more karaoke. That's fine. The fun doesn't have to stop just because Jotty's over on Monday. So we can continue doing karaoke and interviews, build battles, all of those things. Just ask and we'll organise something. I don't know when we're going to do more karaoke, but we'll definitely arrange some for you. So Robbo has asked, what do you do outside? What do you work for? So what do you do outside of scouting? Hamish, do you want to start?
Yeah, so what do I do outside scouting? I actually work for a furniture removal company of all things. So my primary job is working in the office, doing various different amounts of things from IT to looking after what jobs are going and everything like that. And on the side of that, I also run my own little outdoors business, so that keeps me busy and entertained.
And I am a theatre electrician, so I build lighting and sound for theatre, TV, movies, stuff like that. That is what I've done for the last couple of years. But I'm actually currently looking at changing careers to become a police officer in the UK. So when is the real Jotty? I got the dates up for that. So this is Jotty Special Edition. This isn't technically a Jotty. It's just to give you guys something to do while you're at home. So the dates for Jotty this year are the 17th to the 18th of October. And that's when you can get involved here. But obviously our services are open all the year.
We've got another question here from Robbo asking us, what advice would you give someone that is inspired by you? That's always a interesting question to answer. But if I could give anyone advice on this sort of thing, it would be that if you have an idea, don't be afraid to try it. Like this was, as you know, just an idea. And one day we just sat there and we're like, right, we're going to do this. And it's turned into what it is today.
Yeah, that's really good advice. You know, never be afraid to go with your ideas. And my advice is, if you are trying to do something, and you have a team, use that team. Always try to work as a team, because no matter what is thrown at you, if you have a good team behind you, you can achieve it. You know, you can achieve whatever you want to do as long as you work as a team and you have good people behind you. It's really, really important. Um, will there be other games on ScoutWide? Hopefully. The thing about the games on ScoutWide is we have to vet the games. We have to make sure that we are able to run them in a safe way. We have to make sure that there's no way that people can communicate without going through our server, and various other things. So it's a really long process to get games approved. We're currently looking at a couple of games that I'm not going to say because I don't want to get people's hopes up. But we are looking. If you have any suggestions, please let us know. We want to know what you want to play so as we can provide our services to you to help you scout online.
Yeah, for sure. So we've got another question here from Mel. Do you have to be in scouting or guiding to be part of ScoutWide? No, you don't. We don't say that you have to be part of them to join our services. If you want to get on and get involved and get in with our chats and our games that we're offering, then go for it. The only rule we do have is that if you do want to join the team and you are under the age of 18, then yes, you do have to be registered.
Yeah, and also in terms of that, if you want to join our team and you're over the age of 18, we do run really, really stringent checks, and a lot of that goes through local scouting, national scouting associations to check whether the person is who they say they are, and whether they've got a criminal background check and all of that. So if you want to join our team, yes, you do have to be a member of scouting. But if you just want to play on our services, no, you don't. But you just have to sort of like abide by the scouting rules that we've got set out. So how do I work on my cycling badge? So that really depends on where you are and what cycling badge it is. My best advice for that is to look up your badge requirements and see what you can do. At home during this time, and then send what you've done to your leader, and then I'm sure that they will help you get that badge done. Fred, what movies and shows have you worked on? So a lot of them that I've worked on, I'm not allowed to say. I've signed what's called a non-disclosure agreement. But one of them that I have worked on is Doctor Who. I can't tell you what I did, but I've worked on Doctor Who. Yeah. Do you want to take the next question that's there, Hamish?
Yeah, we've got one. How big are your local scout groups? So my local scout group here in New Zealand, I'd say probably around 40 youth across all our sections at the moment. How about you, Joe?
So my group is about 30 ventures and 7 leaders at this moment. So that's how we run it. In the UK, Explorer units are separate from scout groups. So the scout group that we meet in the same hall as has about 180 young people across Beavers, Cubs and Scouts. And then we have 30 young people in the Explorers section. So the next question is from a team member, actually, Commander Adama, is how do you afford to run ScoutWide? So we're really, really lucky. We are a registered non-government organization. We're a registered charity. Which means that there's a huge amount of companies that will provide support to us for free or for a very, very reduced rate, which is amazing. We also rely a lot on donations. So we don't ask users for donations to us, but sometimes people will give us money that way. So it's all through, we don't have any corporate partnerships, sponsorships or anything like that, because we don't think that scouting is for that. That's as far as I know. Hamish, have you got any more that you can say on that?
No, I'll just reiterate what you said, that we do have some various places that do sponsor us and do help keep us running, because obviously without them we wouldn't be able to keep our servers and keep our services up that we do.
Yeah. So what's your favorite camp or campfire memory? My favorite camp memory is probably the closing ceremony for the World Scout Jamboree 2019. It's my favorite memory. That was a really, really cool event. Hamish?
One of my favorite camp memories is more a recent memory. My local area did a zone camp, and they were having like a Harry Potter themed camp, and one of the activities they were doing was just when it was getting dark, and they wanted to have like a dragon in the trees and stuff. So I took a bunch of like sound stuff out, smoke machines and lighting, and set it up, and might have got told off for scaring some kids a bit too much after that.
Good.
But yeah, that was a good memory.
Favorite campfire song or skit? My name's Joe, so my favorite song to sing on a campfire is "Hi, my name is Joe." I'm sure you all know that one. So like, "Hi, my name is Joe, and I work in a button factory." That's really good. It's a nice action song. It gets people up and going, and it's kind of funny because people don't realize that I've started singing the song because they know me as Joe, and then I start singing a song. So that's always fun. Hamish, what's your favorite campfire song or skit?
I always like ones that like you get up and you get really involved, make a lot of noise. So I like the ones like "There's No Flies on Us" and all those sorts of things, because everyone gets involved and competitive.
Yeah, absolutely. And I also like songs that you can sing in a round. Obviously, I am Welsh, and a lot of Welsh people are a lot better at singing than me. So getting a whole bunch of Welsh people singing sort of like in rounds or as a chorus is amazing, and that's really, really cool. What ages is ScoutWired mainly made for? Another question from Robbo. Really good questions, Robbo. ScoutWired is for all ages. We obviously various rules and all of that, but ScoutWired is for all ages that are involved in scouting. We want it to be as open as it can be.
We've got another question here from Mel. What do you think that? Oh, how do you think that scouting can work as an online only program for the next 6 months? Considering scouting has always been hands-on and away from computer screens, how can people make sure they still maintain their scouting skills? That's a very interesting question. I know with my scout group in particular, I've been putting out daily challenges to keep their skills that they're doing up there. For example, some of the daily challenges they're doing are like tying some knots and sending us in a video, or going and building a bivvy in the backyard and camping under it, or going and checking your bike, stuff like that.
Yeah, daily challenges are really good. I think scouting can continue to work online. Scouting can continue to work online. Sorry, I just saw Robert's message and it made me laugh. And it's completely distracted me. How can scouting work online? So yeah, online challenges, and scouting is all about skills, and there's no reason that being at home you can't improve those skills. One of the most useful things I learned from scouting when I went to university was how to look after myself and how to cook. So, you know, young people, adults, can be cooking for their family. They can be helping their parents around the house doing DIY. I'm doing a lot of that right now. Doing an extension on my house. My brother and my sister are both involved in Scouts, and they're helping. So there's no reason that skills can only be built through Scouting. A lot of those skills can be built at home, with Scouting as a great platform to provide assistance to those skills.
We had a funny question from Robbo. Which of us is better at dancing, Joe or myself? In answer to that question, I'm just going to give the answer of it depends what song we're dancing to, and since I'm a rover, if we're doing Korona Joe, I'm pretty sure I could win hands down.
I don't think we've ever seen each other dance. Maybe that should happen at some point, but it's not going to happen in this stream. Sorry.
Yeah, it's a good question though.
So we're actually gonna finish off now with there's 2 more questions. We'll finish off these now because the stream's our time slot's ending. So what year did ScoutWired start? That is a very good question. 2015 is what year ScoutWired started. We're 5 years old now. And does Hamish know how to cook? Hamish is going to have to answer that one.
Yes, I can cook a good steak on the barbie.
Excellent.
I was just going to say, prior to my job working for the furniture moving company 8 months ago, I did about 4.5 years working in butchery at a supermarket. So I have a fair idea about that sort of stuff.
Excellent. So I think that's all we've got time for. If you want to keep asking questions, we will answer them in the Discord rather than live on the video. So you can keep asking questions, that's fine. We will only answer like sensible questions. But keep enjoying yourself. Keep safe online. Make sure that you keep tuning in. We're going to be doing a couple more activities, I believe. But yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for coming. And as Joe said, we'll keep the Q&A channel on the Discord server open for a while. So if you guys do think of questions, we'll definitely answer for you. And we do hope that this isn't the last time we do this Q&A session. We're trying to get some of this stuff we're doing this weekend happening on a more regular basis to keep activities happening, really.
Yeah, and definitely over the next couple of months while people are at home, we're gonna ramp up what we're doing because we're at home as well. So from me in the UK, I am going to say goodbye.
And from me in New Zealand, I'm also going to say goodbye.
So we will see you on ScoutWired.